You can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Michael Johnson takes on Ottman Azaitar this weekend at UFC Fight Night Tampa. This is an interesting fight. Both of these guys haven't seen tons of success as of late. Michael Johnson been on a few runs way back in the day, but kind of a 50-50 fighter as of late. Took some time off after his loss to Diego Ferreira. Came back against Darius Flowers back in February. Had a really good fight. Won every round. Was pretty much winning the striking engagements, mixing in his takedowns. Before that, lost to Diego Ferreira. Diego Ferreira is a really good fighter, so kind of caught him in that one in the second round. Before that, beat Mark Jacasey. Lost to Jamie Malarkey before that, then beat Alan Patrick, and then lost to Clay Guida, Thiago Moises, Stevie Ray, Josh Emmett. A lot of fighters that I feel like he stands a good chance to beat. He was the favorite in all of those fights as well, so he's the favorite in this fight too. So makes you kind of wonder, can you rely on the guy? Ottman Azaitar came into the UFC, won 2 in a row. One of those was against Teemu Pacalin, who's more of a grappler guy, got exposed on the feet, knocked out, face planted, and then Kama Worthy, who I don't really rate that high as a UFC fighter. Then he loses to Matt Frivola by knockout, and then gets battered by Francisco Prado. Loses that one by knockout. So he's been out, hasn't been that active since 2020. This will be his 4th fight, 34 years old, so sitting out his prime for the most part. Last fight was in July of 2023, so looking about a 1.5 year layoff on this one, so that's concerning. Was he fighting injuries? Who knows? But coming off of a huge layoff against a guy like Michael Johnson, I just feel like Michael Johnson, he's one of those guys that, knocked out Dustin Poirier, was hurting Justin Gaethje before he got caught. There's that meme that goes around that, he'll beat Dustin Poirier and then lose to just some bum the next fight. You never really know which one's going to show up, but I'm going to trust Michael Johnson in this one. He is 38 years old, just turned 38, I believe, in June. So he's 38 years old. He's going to be 4 years older than Ottman Azaitar, who's 34, 5'10", 73.5-inch reach versus 5'8", 71-inch reach. So he's going to be the bigger guy. I think Michael Johnson, he's got better straight punches, and he's much faster than Ottman Azaitar. Ottman Azaitar, he's been shown to get hurt in his last couple fights, obviously getting finished. Same with Michael Johnson, but I trust Michael Johnson's chin against Ottman Azaitar if he gets hit. I don't trust Azaitar against Johnson if Johnson starts to connect. Johnson's a southpaw, kind of awkward on the feet, very fast. Like I said, he has a lot of power in his hands, but he's also going to mix up the takedowns. We saw that in his last fight. He was winning the stand-up. I feel like it wasn't really starting to go his way, so he started to shoot takedowns and kind of dominated the fight from there. So I think that he'll be able to mix it up much better than Ottman Azaitar. He's primarily a striker. He's not really going to be shooting for takedowns. Michael Johnson, older guy, but tons of UFC experience. You look at his record, he's fought the who's who. I already mentioned Clay Guida. I already mentioned Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje, but he fought Khabib for the belt back in the day. He's fought Nate Diaz, Beneil Dariush, Edmund Barboza, Gleison Tibau, Melvin Gillard, Joe Lozon. Tony Ferguson beat Tony Ferguson back in the day. That was before Tony went on his run in 2012 and on. I just think Michael Johnson's going to be the cleaner striker on the feet, not get hit as much. Straighter punches versus Azaitar's more looping punches. This is a really close one. I don't think the odds give it justice. They've got Michael Johnson a -185 versus Azaitar at 155, but I think Michael Johnson will get this done. I think that he can find Ottman Azaitar's chin and hurt him a lot just with his very fast straight punches that he throws. I just don't think Azaitar can hold a candle to the competition that Michael Johnson's faced. You look at Azaitar's record, and before Kama Worthy, and he beat Teemu Pacalin, who I'm not very high on, and then before that, it's just a bunch of kind of cans, honestly, 16-14. This guy was undefeated at the time, but now he's 13-6-1. You got 13-7-1, 6-3, 3-10. So I feel like Azaitar, he's kind of cleaning up the regional scene and these, you know, bottom feeder guys at 155, but whenever he takes a step up in competition against a Matt Frivola or a Francisco Prado, he seems to lose. So I'm gonna go with Michael Johnson this one. I think that he can KO Azaitar, and if he doesn't KO him, I think he'll win the decision. Thanks, guys.